Okay, well, obviously, a very disappointing day today for USC football. You know, to lose that game in our home opener here, especially how well our defense played today, was obviously very disappointing. You know, give credit to Washington State too. They played really hard in the game, much like they did last week on the road, and to go 2 weeks in a row like that, give a lot of credit to their coaches and their players for playing hard. We helped them out, obviously, in that game. As bad as things were offensively throughout the game, we can't turn the ball over. And when we turn the ball over, not just did we turn it over, we handed them 7 points on the turnover, which obviously became a big difference in the game. And after all the things that went wrong, we've got to execute on special teams also. You know, they make their field goal, we miss our 2 field goals, and there's 3-point games. So very pleased with the defense. In 3 parts of the game, we had 3 things we needed to do today. We did 1 of the 3, and we didn't do the other 2, and that's how we lost.
Questions? Coach, on third down, you ran the ball a few times on third down. Do you regret doing that now?
Well, when you lose the game, I think you always regret things. You know, when you win the game, you don't. So, you know, there was a feeling during that game that our defense was playing really well, and Washington State had been very turnover prone, and some efficiencies in the red zone and third downs from last year. And so the plan was, if we were able to hold up the way we were on defense early on, to make sure that we didn't screw it up on offense. And you know, it's easy to say, well, yeah, we should have thrown in those, and then all of a sudden we throw later in the game. You know, we throw an interception for a touchdown, totally changes the game. So. As boring as it was, you know, that was the plan once we felt that we were going to be able to play that good of defense and thought we were going to play really well on special teams too, and really not screwed up on offense.
And how are you not getting separation for your receivers?
Yeah.
What's happening there?
That's a good question, Dan. You know, unfortunately, there was at times that last week the issue was drops more. I feel like there was some separation in that game, and then today it didn't feel like there was much there. Those guys did a good job. They were banged up in their secondary. Their safeties tackled really well. 20's a really good player. So we'll go back to work.
The state of the quarterback situation, I mean, where's your confidence with both guys and kind of opening up the offense and things like that?
Yeah, you know, it was a very disappointing day today in the passing game, obviously. You know, I've never heard of stats like we had today. I think the long pass play was 8 yards throughout the day. So that's very discouraging, and obviously that falls on me, so we'll get it fixed.
Do you cater your play calls because the defense is so good? I mean, has that changed the way you called it?
Yeah, I think, you know, in these 2 matchups of these 2 games, doesn't mean we don't want to score, don't get me wrong. We want to be efficient. We want to make the field goals when they're there. We want to finish off drives in the red zone and do better on third down. But also, you know, there's a game management and taking a bunch of risks as we see what happens when the ball goes in there, and now all of a sudden we're turning the ball over, you know, in a game that, by the way we were playing on defense, we should have won that game just by not turning the ball over and handing them 7 points.
So what do you think is going on offense? Is there a chance you might put some more thought into using Trey Madden and the Wildcat a little bit more?
I thought Trey had a great game tonight. Really ran really hard, over 30 carries in the game. Did a great job in the Wildcat on short yardage. You know, so I think in a day where obviously there's not many highlights in there, I thought the way Trey played was very similar to the way our defense played. Very proud of Trey.
Did Washington State do anything defensively that surprised your quarterbacks or your?
Yeah, they played a bunch of drop 8 in this game. They'd not done that much last week, and had not really done that in general. And unfortunately, you know, that when you drop 8, it's going to close up those lanes in the passing game, as you saw today. You know, with the separation issues of not happening, and you'd like to think that you'd run the ball pretty efficiently versus drop 8. And we did at times, and then we'd shoot ourselves in the foot. It felt like we'd get some drives going at times, and then we'd have a negative play. And when you're not getting explosive plays like that, you got to be consistent on every play. You can't have any negative plays.
Coach, can you recall a time in your career where offensively you didn't want to, I guess, mess it up, as you were saying earlier, because your defense was so well. That having that approach or that mindset.
No, that's you don't want to be in that position. That's just where we are right now, and I think we've seen that in 2 games now. We're not have the ability to sit back there and throw the ball 60 times. I don't think that would be in our best interest as a football team.
Wayne, do you hear the boos and the chant, fire Kiffin? And if you do, how do you react to that?
Yeah, you can't worry about that. It is what it is. I think I heard those before the game started in warm-ups, actually, so I'm getting used to it.
Do you think this loss kind of puts your job in the hot seat?
I don't know all that stuff. I'm not even thinking that way. We're 1-1 right now. We got to go back and get ready to play at home next week.
Lane, when you said that there were things that were on you as far as how this loss happened, what specifically do you regret? Would you like to change?
Well, first off, when you don't play well, of course, it falls on the head coach. That's part of the job. We obviously weren't prepared well enough on offense, and and we didn't make the 2 special teams plays when we needed to make them, or it's a different story.
Is part of your reluctance to throw the ball, seemingly to throw the ball downfield, just not having confidence yet in that offensive line to hold off?
Well, I think that it's been, it was the game today. Just did not feel like it was in our best interest. And there were 2 different times that we did have them called, and they did something that we had to audible out of them, where we were attacking downfield. But, having the quarterback get hit back there, the way the game was going, they were turning the ball over. We were really playing great defense. It just didn't seem in our best interest to put that quarterback back there, and let him get hit and let the balls get tipped and turn the ball over. Unfortunately, in the 2-minute situation there at the end of the first half, we do go to passing in the 2-minute situation there, and we give them 7 points. I mean, that's obviously the total difference in the game.
Was the plan the whole time to go 1 half Cody, 1 half Max, or was that dictated by the game?
That was dictated by the game.
What about next week? Have you decided?
I have no idea.
Following up on Nigeria's question about the booing, your team slowed as it came off the field in the first half, and then came on to came to the field second half. What's your response to that?
We're getting used to playing on the road.
Do you feel bad for the kids getting having to hear this, the kids having to hear the boos?
Yeah, but I can't do anything about it. We're trying to win the game, and and it is what it is. So I don't think that doesn't have any effect on us not playing well. We got to play better.
Let's do one more question for Coach.
What do you think, from the fans' point of view, what do they have to feel good about the future, the rest of the season at this point?
Yeah, well, I think the final score on a scoreboard dictates fans, obviously, and how they feel. Our defense played great today, played lights-out defense versus a team that's put up a bunch of numbers over the years, or a system that's put up a bunch of numbers. And, and unfortunately, we were really poor on offense today. So, and we didn't make our two field goals. So, we'll be excited about 1/3 of our team.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Devon Kennard and Trey Madden here.